You figured out where you spawned. You survived the first 30 minutes, and now you're asking the same question every DayZ player asks. Where the hell do I go now? Chernarus is massive, and picking the wrong direction can get you killed fast. In this guide, I'll show you my favorite loot routes that take you from the coast all the way up to the northwest side of the map. Routes that balance loot, risk, and are easy to remember, so you stop wandering and start progressing. Just a quick note, this guide assumes you roughly know your spawn area. If not, check out my spawn locations guide first. It'll make these routes much easier to follow. This loot route is the first one I learned by heart, and one of my favorites still. It's basically one straight line from east to west, with a good mixture of towns, summer camps, and military areas. We spawn in Svetlo or Berezkhi, and we follow the train tracks to this small military camp. It's a pretty good spot for low-tier firearms and military clothing. We follow the road north, over here, as we check the cars for food. Soon enough, we'll be passing through the town of Turovo. Make sure to check the houses and visit the well. When we reach the fork in the road, we go left and keep going in this direction. This takes us through Kamyshovo. The houses here can spawn surprisingly good loot, so with a little luck we could pick up something like a repeater or even better. We continue going west from here. If we take this dirt road, we end up at the north part of Novodmitrovsk. It's not worth your time to loot the entire city, just make sure to visit the hospital and police station at least. Following the main road will take us to the town of Berezino. Loot the buildings you want, just make sure to at least check out the fairground for potential hunting gear. Now, just around the corner is a huge quarry. Keep this to your left and head in this direction to end up at the summer camp Arsenovo. Besides the camping lodges, it has 2 military barracks and an infirmary. Exit on the north side and keep going this direction until you bump into fences and guard towers. We are now at the Kamyshovo military base. When I first started playing DayZ, getting to this place always felt like an achievement. It's a great place for gear, just be careful of other players. We leave the military base and go west from here, keeping this road on our left. There's a single barrack here that's worth looting, and shortly after that, the town of Kamyshovo. Depending on your situation, you can decide to loot the town or not, and then follow this trail marked with the green markers. It's a long dirt road through the hills, relatively safe, that will take you past the town of Stary Yar and close to the summer camp Pobeda. This camp also has 2 military barracks and an infirmary. Exit through the main gate and keep going until you reach a road with lots of vehicles. From here on, we follow the road with the telephone wires until we reach this pub, and then we basically continue in this direction to end up at Tissy. If we can loot this and make it out alive, we should have enough gear to start looking for trouble. If we spawn in Berezino or Solnechny, we can run straight west towards Gorka and Stary Sobor. Those places have good loot, but they're known hotspots, so we're gonna choose a route that's a bit more stealthy. From the Berezino PD, follow the telephone wires to go to the summer camp called Druzhba. This was the very first location I knew how to find on Chernarus. It's a good place for clothing, and you might find something like a CR rifle or a longhorn. After looting this, we exit on the side with the pond and go this direction to find a dirt road. It's marked with yellow markers. Follow that all the way to the top of the mountain and then go left here to follow the path marked with the green markers. It's a nice little stroll that ends at a castle that could have some decent loot. Over here you have a good overview of the town of Krasnostav. Usually I don't go there myself, but there's plenty to loot if you choose to. Once we're done with the castle or town, follow the blue trail and you end up at a small military camp. I rarely run into people here, and for its location on the map it has great loot. After this it's one straight road to end up at the town of Svetlo, and after that the quarry. We follow the same route that we did last time from here, but to keep things interesting we don't go to Tissy after the Pobeda summer camp. Instead we head south to the city of Novaya Petrovka. This is a big city with plenty of buildings to loot, and especially of interest is the train station in the south. It's a tier 4 area with military containers and a possible train wreck site. So potentially you could find something like an AK-47 or an AKM here. For the next stop we continue going south, following this tree line. This brings us to the military site called Bashna. If we don't have one yet, this is a great place to find a plate carrier, and it's also good for helmets, weapons and ammunition, stuff like that. From here on, it's a short hike to one of the locations that makes me most nervous. The tents at the northwest airfield. This spot gets camped by dirty tree huggers all the time, so watch out for people waiting in the bushes. If this hasn't been looted recently, you should now be geared enough to have a good chance in any firefight. Or you could camp in the bushes over here, if you're one of those people. Shame on you, really. Alright. I need to preface this loot route with the following. Unless you want to run the coast for a long time, spawning in the southeast will almost certainly make you cross some open fields. So this route will be a bit more risky than the other ones, with a higher chance of encountering other players. Let's have some fun with it. We spawn in Elektro or Kamyshovo and make our way to the northeast side of Elektro, where we follow the main road out. Right here behind the church. This will take us to a summer camp with an infirmary, where we hopefully find like a shotgun or a longhorn. Continue on the same road. There's 2 military tents where loot usually sucks, to be honest. We take a right turn at the crossing, follow the road, and once we see the small pond, we go up the hill on the left. Here's a good spot to overlook the town of Staroy. It can have some good loot, just be prepared to run into other people here. We go up on the hill on the north side, that's where the police station is, and we'll find a small military camp. Loot is not amazing here, so finding something like a bison with a mag is decent. Alright, we're gonna go for a walk. We leave the camp at the north side and follow the trail with the red markers. At this sign, start following the blue trail. Once we get to this barn, we cross the road and start following this road. It takes us across these ruins that have a potential convoy spawn. After these ruins, just keep going west on the blue trail that turns into a dirt road. Just keep following it. It will take us to the Nadezhda summer camp. Fingers crossed to find something good long range, because after this we're going to have to cross some open fields. Just north of this camp is the city of Novi Sobor. I rarely loot this personally, and instead follow this small stream that will keep us relatively hidden. It takes us to the city of Stary Sobor, which we have to visit for the military base. More often than not, you'll find players camping this base from over on this hill here. Let's make this a quick in and out. We leave on the north side and go west, following this dirt road. Over at the pond, just continue going the same way. Since there's no trail here, instead we stay close to these short stone walls and use them as markers. If things go south, we can find some cover behind them. Keep going in the direction of the stone walls until we hit the main road. Here's where we continue on the dirt path that takes us to this hill. It overlooks the VMC military, so have a good overwatch before going in. Now, the VMC is completely surrounded by open fields. If you exit on this side, which is north, you will find a small stream of water. The stream is somewhat in a ditch that provides some cover, and we follow this all the way until we see a large barn. At this barn, we go right, and we've ended up at the Northwest Airfield. People often go here to get into a firefight, and on some community servers this is a quest location. Tread carefully. I rarely find good loot in the Arma barracks, but the tents, containers and the regular barracks often contain good weapons. After looting you can leave the airfield. Definitely don't camp the ATC. I would never do such a thing. Ever. Honestly. Our last loot route, to me, feels most like a true lone wolf playstyle. It's mostly woods and hiking trails, avoiding towns and cities. Perfect for one of those clickbait YouTube videos. How a million-hour lone wolf dominated Chernarus. Yeah, anyway, once we're done looting Chernogorsk, we head north. There's 2 supermarkets here that most people don't visit. From here, we go directly to Belota Airfield. It's very open and risky, but if we're gonna die, we might as well die early on, right? Hopefully we survive so we can continue going west, passing through the towns of Belota, and shortly after, Komarovo. After this town, keep following the road with the telephone wires. Keep going and going and going until we arrive at the Pavlovo military base. This base is permanently gassed, however, on the west side there's 2 buildings and 2 containers just outside the gas zone. Up next is the town of Pavlovo. Before we head into the woods on the west side of the map, right here behind this farm. Now, I need to take a moment to address a question that people will probably ask. Why not go to Solnechny? The city of Solnechny has great loot, with plenty of military buildings and containers. It is also surrounded by open fields, and it's somewhat of a shit show with many people going there, so we don't go there. If you don't agree, go and make your own video. So we stick to the tree line, over here, going northwest, and we end up at a small town called Zavir. Once we have looted the town, we stick to this road with the telephone wires parallel to it until we reach this small dam and then go right. Stay on the red trail, which brings us to the largest summer camp on this map. Don't stand still here, especially not in the doorways, since people just love to camp this from the other side of the river. Okay, we leave the summer camp on the opposite side we came from, follow the river for a bit, and then cross it. Here we have the Mishkino military camp, another spot that's really useful for weapons and ammo. This also gets frequently camped by bar clickers, so be wary of anyone overwatching from the hill. Next up is a small industrial site with a few military containers. It's on our route, so we might as well check it before continuing our journey north. We follow this road until we reach a bend, where it turns into a hiking trail marked with blue markers. If you follow the trail all the way, you'll pass through two towns whose name I can never remember before you reach this castle. Enjoy the view, loot the stairs and towers, and then make your way west. Over here, at the metal bridge. We go down a hill, cross the river, and then keep going up, crossing several roads. Our destination is this platform over here, overlooking the Tricresta military camp. Loot the camp, go back to the platform and tie your laces. We're gonna go on a quite long and hopefully peaceful walk. We want to follow the red trail north, but be aware that it doesn't have a lot of markers. If necessary, use the sun or stars as a navigational landmark to make sure you're heading in the right direction. If all goes according to plan, we find ourselves at the biathlon arena. The cars in the parking lot are really useful here for loot, plus it has several summer camp houses. Once we're done here, we head northeast and just keep going downhill. There is another summer camp here with an infirmary. If I already have a good long-range gun with enough ammo, I might just skip this, since it's kind of a dodgy place. Either way, our next stop is the town of Sinistok. Most notable here is the hunting store, although there's plenty of houses that are worth checking out for civilian loot. On the west side of the town, next to this map here, we start following the blue trail. Keep your eyes out for this traffic sign, take a left, and then go up the hill. Here we are again at Tissi, this time at the tents on the south side. Get yourself some gear, and please try not to die within the next 5 minutes now. So, no matter where you spawn on Chernarus, you now have a clear direction to follow. Routes that balance good gear, manageable risk, and are easy to remember. And if you're tired of running solo, check out my video guide on making friends with strangers in DayZ. Thanks for watching, see you in the next run.